want this smooth search animation in Figma, I'm going to show you in few minutes. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rectangle here. I'm going to give the dimensions to be 60. That's the width and the height. Okay, then I'm going to change the corner radius. I'm going to make it 8 instead of 0. So I want a magnifying lens icon. So I'm going to go to my plugins. I use Iconify for my icons, and I'm going to search in the search box, search. Okay, so I'm going to pick this one. All right, so I'll just drag it over my rectangle and then drag my mouse over the rectangle and the search icon, and then add an auto layout. That is Shift A. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to change the color of the rectangle. So I want it to be a blue color, so something like this. And then that of the icon also, I'm going to change it to white. Okay, so I want to duplicate this, so Control D. All right, so I'll just drag it down here. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to pick a text. All right, and then just type something like search this way. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on 16 and then on regular. Okay, so I'm going to also add an auto layout here, so Shift A. Okay, so I'll go back to my right panel and change the height of this to be 60, just as we have it for this height also. All right, so the next thing is I'm going to change the corner radius and make it 8 here as well. Okay, so as we can see here, and the next thing is I'm going to add a fill. All right, so we change the color of the background here. I'm going to go with the same blue. All right, just as this time around, I'm going to reduce the color. I'll make it lighter a bit. All right, so something like this. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this way. Let's change the width to somewhere 250. Okay, now I don't want to for corner radius to be at this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. Okay, go back to my right panel and go back to where I have the corner radius. So I want to remove the radius from here. So I'm going to make this side 0 and then this side 0. I'm going to repeat the same thing for this one. I don't want any radius to be here. So I'm going to go to this side and make it 0 here and also make it 0. Okay, so now we don't have any corner radius at these two sides. So I'm just going to drag my mouse over this too and add an auto layout, that is Shift A. Okay, so as you can see over here, okay, so I'm going to create a component set. So I'm going to drag my mouse over these two and then go back to my right panel and go back to the drop down arrow here where it says create component set. Okay, so I'm going to click on create component set this way. All right, so what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to go back to the right panel and go to prototype. All right, so if I click on this, you realize that we have some plus sign over here. So I'm going to click on it and drag it to my second, rectangle over here, which includes the search text. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on click. All right, and then I'll put it on Smart Animate, and then the curve will be easy in and out. I'm going to leave it on 300 ms. Okay, so I'm going to click on the second one and do the same thing. So I'm just going to drag it to the first one. All right, and then on click. All right, then Smart Animate, and then I'll still leave it on 300 ms. All right, so let's see how this looks like. So I'm just going to go back, okay, and then click on the frame here and then just drag a frame along this way. Okay, and then I'll go to assets over here. When I get to assets, I did this in component 3, so I'm just going to drag it to my frame that I drew here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is that I'll just click on this, and then I'll just play. I'll click on the present button, and then I'm going to have something like this. All right, so this is how it looks like. Yes, so please, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and put on post notifications so you can be alerted when I drop other videos. Thank you very much. See you next time.